When they took over the country, they pretty much tell these young girls in their teens to do sex trafficking. They were just taking advantage of the South Vietnamese ladies and women, okay? And the world do not know about this, okay? The world need to know about this. And it's a shame that no one even pay attention to that. The people that didn't have money, the poor people, they will do that. But if they get pregnant, then the communists will give them money or whatever pills to,
get an abortion.
Get an abortion.
No, a coupon take to the hospital to have a free abortion.
As for my family, because they don't want to ruin their name. So they won't, for their status, they don't want to look like a bunch of barbaric animals, which they are anyway. Diane and my other sister will have fraud or fake paperwork to go to work somewhere else. My sister would work in the selling cloth, one of them selling cloth. Diane go to work, so she starts selling like whatever she can to earn money, fabric, whiskey, sewing machines, whatever she can. So it's, in other words, she's learned to be a street smart person.
You had mentioned earlier that when you were younger, you were taught to sew. Were you able to use your sewing skills to find some kind of employment after the?
No, it's too slow to make money. I want fast money.
Where did you get the supplies from to sell?
You walk around a neighbor and you ask them if they have any soap or if they have any whiskey, American whiskey, Remy Martin, black label, blue label, anything like that, and you buy from them. And then you find a dealer in the flea market or the black market restaurant and you resell them. We didn't know how to cook that well, rice or casual food, No. Just sell fabric, sell liquor, sell watches, things like that. They didn't know anything. They didn't know the refrigerator. And we asked them, do you have refrigerator in Hanoi? They say, yeah, we had a lot. They run all over the street. They thought refrigerator just like a car. And then when they clean the fish toilet to clean the fish, and they flushed it, and then the fish gone. And they said, oh my God, CIA left the trap.
They think that once you flush the fish is gone. Now they being, spied by the CIA because they don't know where the fish went. We just look at them like, wow, shocking. Where have you been?
Yeah, because they're living a few decades behind.
Yeah. What did Ho Chi Minh lie? What did Ho Chi Minh not tell you? He lies to them. He lied about everything. He make them feel like they are being all their goods are being have been taken away from them by the Southerner, but that's not true. Ho Chi Minh lies. Ho Chi Minh went and did all his study and everything, lived a good life, but he lies to his own soldiers. He lies to his own people, not only soldier, but to the North. He lies a lot. If you go back and read the history, he's not an honest man to his people. It seemed like these people have no clue except for kill and kill. The Southerner are bad people. The Southerner are American. The Southerner are westernized. We must eliminate them. That's what Ho Chi Minh is teaching them.
When did this government decide that it would be okay to start sending the children of former ARVN soldiers back to school?
Well, I didn't know about the other, but for us, we didn't go back to school.
Okay.
We went back to school, but at the later time. This is like maybe what, 78?
Okay.
Remember, I have to wear that stupid red scarf.
Just like the Chinese.
Yeah.
Well, because they were younger, so I remember my generations, my group, age group. We didn't. We just only focus on how to escape.
Right.
Okay.
So for us, like whenever we go to school, we have to wear that red scarf. So when I get home, my mom would take that red scarf and just throw it in the trash every single time. Every
Oh, they give
single
you a new
time.
one? They give you a new one?
No,
at
she
school?
just throw it in the trash, but then
Oh.
she knows that the next day we have to go to school, so we have to take it out. But it's like, to her, she's like trash, you
Yeah.
know, because what they doing is they trying to brainwash us too, because we're young enough to be brainwashed.
Of
But
course.
yeah, so that's why they like, you have to wear this. We don't wear it, they spank us. They hit
Oh.
our hands. Yes, the teachers and everything. And they make us singing about Ho Chi Minh all the time. And, you know, they make us doing all this entertainment, meaning like, you know, kids entertainment, like learn how to sing, learn how to dance, and
Yeah.
then do
How much you love Ho Chi Minh.
yeah, all that BS. Okay. In every school, I remember as soon as you walk into the school, this big picture of this, you know, devil.
I wanted to move forward to your escape attempts. Could you tell a little bit about your escape attempt?
We try to get the paper like a French citizen because my grandmother who lived in France, but no, didn't work. And then we try a couple times, like, you know, escape, but nothing worked. She wanted to find a husband. If you married to the French citizen or Indian citizen or Pakistan citizen, the chance that you can leave the country.
Did you ever attempt to set up some sort of arranged marriage to get out?
My grandmother
you?
did, but didn't work out. I didn't escape the first time, except I just wait for the French visa.
Mhm.
And the only time I escaped at the time that we became Chinese citizen. I
Mhm.
took all my siblings and brother and uncle all together at that time.
It's not
Yeah.
a real Chinese citizen. It's a fake identity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but we bought the birth certificate from the Chinese family who you know, have a whole bunch of girls. They make it, they fake it, fabricate the birth certificate. Yeah. We learned how to say our name in Chinese.
Okay.
We had to, because when they call the name, we had to know who names it. But at that time, at the moment before we got in the boat, we forgot our name. The people who organized it, they knew us, so they say, keep going, you know?
Right.
Yeah, keep going. They knew us, and so they pushed us to the front of the boat.
Mhm.
And then they have a little window, it's a tiny little window. Michelle got asthma, and then she couldn't breathe. So I broke the tiny little window so she could have some fresh air. Then you know, so I got some, you know, Pedialyte waters left over from American soldier. We bought it, so I let her drink some of them, and then the window opened, so, you know, fresh air came, and it's easier. So we all have to sit there quiet until they keep loading and loading and loading more people. It's supposed to be, I think, 180 people.
Wow.
We end up with 280 people, right, Michelle?
Double.
Close to 300 people.
Yeah. So
Wow.
then they put all the men on the bottom, and everybody has
Lower
to
deck.
squeeze lower deck like a sardine.
Yeah.
And women, children, men, everyone in the middle. And then the captain and the doctors and family of the boat owners is on the top. They threw away a lot of belongings, like bags and water, food, and stuff like that. Yeah. We left the river, and then it's about like 2-3 hours, or suddenly there was a gunshot, like a lot. We say, oh no, but we got caught or some, but the communists just shot on the sky to say goodbye, good luck, bon voyage.
You know, we were shocked to hear all those gunshots. We thought maybe we were
were
being
fired.
held back again. However, it was pretty much like goodbye, salutes, okay, good written, good, go, get out. Because I guess they want to get rid of the Chinese, Vietnamese people.
we had a captain, Navy captain. He's supposed to know where the boat direction that we're going, but he got motion sickness. He threw up badly. Everybody got sick, and then we asked him where are we? Where we were? He said, I am just the Navy captain, but I work at the office. I don't have no experience anything about the ocean and things like that. The boat kept going until we saw like so many Thailand, I think 3-4 Thailand pirates boats.
Were they little boats, little speed boats?
No, that's speed boats. It's just regular.
They're just like fishing boats.
Then we saw the Holland, the boat from Holland, but nobody in the boat know how to send the SOS, morse sign.
Out of the 280 people, not one person knew.
Yeah, everybody got sick. They threw up. They depend on the pilot, the captain, the doctor, whatever, the bunch of idiots. 4 Thailand boats with the black flags chasing us. So all suddenly we saw them further and further away. Well, we didn't know why. When we look in the front, there was a storm coming. They're like a big white storm coming.
So what happened is during the time when the pirates boats was chasing us, we didn't know we were heading towards the storms. Okay, there was a storm in front of us, but because everyone was just so terrified being chased by pirates, they just continue going forward. Well, then certainly the pirates kind of like dissipate, like didn't follow us anymore. But then when you look at it, then you're like, oh no, now we know why. There's a big storm right in front of us, and you are really in the storm already. You know, at the time, you probably already in the eye that you didn't know about. So now you kind of, I guess, past the eye. So your boat was already up really high at the top of that wave, you know. Then when you go over, I mean, not sure how we went over, that must be God's doing. Then the boat dropped. It's not just like, oh yeah, let's go like roller coaster. Okay. It drops.
It slammed down.
Right. So that's when the water, everything was just coming right into the boat.
And did that cause damage to the motor?
I don't know honestly at the time.
Yeah, 3 more. We have 6 motor, and 3 of them is gone.
People were screaming, and because a lot of water, and it's dark, it's wet, and you keep getting your boat's getting rock back and forth, hit hard. I mean, that's why people got scared and they screamed.
Of course.
Now, and with the one that my little sister, Diane, explained about the nurse trying to use a syringe. It was a syringe with a needle. She's trying to empty out her bladder to remove, to take the pressure off the bladder, because think about, like, you can't urine for hours and hours, so then the bladder is in a lot of pain. And that's what she did. She constantly removed the pressure, removed the urine. But who knows if she's expert at doing that. She was just doing it just to save life. That's all she did, which is very kind of her that she's trying her best.
Right. I want to know, how long was it, at least on paper, supposed to take you to get to this destination that was plotted out for you by this incompetent captain?
4 days.
I don't think they even really know exactly. They just probably give us
estimates about 4 days.
Oh, Diane says that the estimate was about 4 days?
Yeah, it's just an estimate.
Yeah, but it took them like almost 8 days.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Everyone must have lost a lot of weight during that trip.
Well, not only lost of weight, we were also sick. We actually was kind of recover when we discovered the basket of jicama. Jicama is a root. It's a root. It's a it's a family of If you look it up, it's white inside, but the skin is kind of round, and it's like a root. It
Okay.
grows pretty much in the ground. Oh yeah, it's a
no,
basket.
on the bottom. No, on the bottom of the boat. And then I can only pick them up and give it to my siblings at night. And spam. I found spam too, but we didn't give to any other people because we didn't have enough food. So I just want to give it to my sister and brother and my uncle so we can survive.
Right. Well, did you obviously you must have been super hungry at that time. What did you do to like try and take your mind off of food?
Nobody can eat because everybody grew up.
So they didn't even have an appetite.
Motion sickness. Everybody was like looked like a zombie.
Yeah. Yeah, they got sunken eyes.
No, they were not. They just very weak. They didn't have the strength to sit up to think about food because they were so sick of throwing up. People were saying they spotted a crane. You know, they just say they've spotted a crane. We don't know what crane it was. Once we got on, then we realized it was the Exxon crane. Exxon crane. Now the crane, when you get closer to the crane, your boat's getting rocked and wave, you know, pretty strong because, you know, this little boat compared to that giant crane. So in order for us to get on the crane, they start throwing nets down, these big ropes, like, you know, like netted rope that you can actually climb few people at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay? So then they asked to start moving people up, especially children and women first. But you know, there was no order. Everyone wanted to get on because they are so sick and tired. And it's funny that to survive, suddenly your strength comes.
Yeah, you got that adrenaline pumping in.
Yeah, just like it just came back, and you just wanted to climb up that rope just to get on to that that Exxon crane.
Crane. I stay back on the boat until all my sister and brother climbed up in the oil rig. Then I climbed after them. And then we got milk, we got food.
We have bread. I remember
bread. And then we all stung like a skunk. Smells so bad. Really bad. Yeah.
It smells like rotten fish.
I don't know, worse than that.
It smelled like throw up that's been sitting on you forever because everybody throws up on each other.
Yeah.
So then they dealing with the Malaysia. That was the Malaysia border. So they deal with Malaysian Navy, the American Exxon. They contact the Malaysian Navy.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Malaysian Navy agreed they would take us to the refugee island. But all the men have to stay in our old boat.
All the men has to go back to the boat, and the children stay on their boat, their ship.
Navy warship or something.
What age did they consider someone a man versus like being a child or a boy?
No, it's I guess young man, but it's funny because my uncle was allowed to be with us.
So the captain gave us milk and food, and the captain told us to go downstairs, and they will use a water hose and clean up people. And I told my sister, they say, no, just stay still and sit next to the captain's room. At night, I didn't know. My uncle told us that the soldier tried to rape the girl and took all the jewelry. We lucky we stayed at the captain. We lucky we didn't get any harm also.
The captain protected you?
I think so.
They were offered to take showers.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, for many days sitting on that boat, everyone want a nice shower.
Yeah.
When that shower happened, that's when things happen.
Right.
That's why
They
my
try to
uncle
take
was
advantage
telling
of the
us.
women taking the
Yeah.
shower.
So that's why my
Mhm.
uncle told us not to shower, not to go take a shower,
Yeah.
just to stay smelly and just to keep ourselves the way we are.
I suppose staying dirty and stuff like in situations like that could be an advantage to deter
Yes.
men with bad intentions from trying to harm you.
Yeah, because we look like dead fish, so nobody want to get near us. They took us to the international border in the ocean where the Indonesia and Malaysia ended,
Okay.
and Malaysia and get into Indonesia. So they told us all have to go back to our boat.
Mm.
And then they left. The Navy left. We saw one old man with a tiny little boat, and he said that he can take us to the refugee camp, but we have to give him a watch, a Seiko watch. So then somebody gave it to him. So he guided us to the Indonesia refugee camp. Late at night, very late, a small island. Late at night, so the people like the police and others say, no, nobody can get up. Nobody can leave the boat. We didn't pay the American from the Exxon, but when we got to the island, we didn't have any money. We lost out the clothes that we sold, go in it, because
Right.
when people jumping back and forth. So the owner of the boat didn't want to pay for us.
Okay. So the Exxon called the Malaysian Coast Guard or Navy ship to come and get us to pull us into Indonesia.
Okay.
In order to do that, the Malaysian wants some kind of money, paid for it.
Okay.
So
Yeah. I did confuse that with the Indonesian.
Right. Okay. So the Exxon people kind of, I guess, pay for the refugee to be on the Malaysians boat and to pull the rest of the boat, the wrecked boat, because our boat was half wrecked,
From the storm.
to Indonesia.
Right.
Okay. So now, during that time, all the craziness, all the abuse, raping from those women happened. By the time we reach Indonesia border, now to get the Indonesia personnel saying, for us to pull you in, you got to pay us a price. So that's when Diane mentioned about the watch, whatever that watch is. But really, whatever they can get from you, they get. It's not just the watch. Okay.
Right.
So now once they pull you to Indonesia, to get on the land of Indonesia, the island, the Leitung Island, you have to pay again $5 per person, because we didn't have money during all that storm that wrecked the boat, the transferring back and forth on Exxon. Half of our clothes probably has been washed off. Clothes that my mom sold, jewelry in there or money or whatever she sold inside the hemming of our clothing. Okay.
Right.
So we didn't have the money to pay. So Diane told the owner, you should pay for us. And the owner refused to pay. So Diane threatened her and saying, if you don't pay for us, when the United Nations or whoever interfered, like with the work with the refugee, we will tell them that you work with the communists and you are carrying a lot of gold, money on this boat. You taking advantage of the people that want to escape. That's what Diane was trying to explain.
So we arrived at the island about midnight. When we got to the island, everybody had their own little huts. We didn't know where to find a place to stay. Everybody said, well, you have to find your own place and build a hut or wherever it is. So I told my sister, just just sit there and wait. So I walked a long way to try to find a place. So we found this place. It looked like just a roof. I asked the woman, can we rent it? She said, okay, $10 a month. I was happy. I took all my sister and two men and one girl left alone, escaped alone. So they asked if they can join us, husband and wife with the little kids. So we had about total about 13 people all together.
Wanted to join us. I guess it's for comfort and protection. We see like the Red Cross, the United Nations, the the people, the goodwill. But if you're saying the media like CBS and NBC, all that, where were they? Where were they? They should have been there.
That's right, that would have been a big story. The Red crisis,
of course. The only time the story started to expose, because when we finally come to America, and that's when many people start sharing. And that time, there's still people are still refuge at many different countries. Thailand, the Philippines, Indonesia. Think about that. So that's why I'm trying to say, where were the media? They only on the scene to say all these things about, the communists, they were like people trying to free their, join the country to unite it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But they don't see the truth, what the purpose of the communists trying to join, combine the two North and South together.
Yeah,
their intention was
very
bad.
one-sided biased journalism.
Yes, it was very biased. So where were the media?
Well, we got the paper that my father received the Silver Star and from America. The paper proved that my father was Major General.
Major General.
Yes, and we laminate that papers and we hidden inside our body the whole time. Then when the United Nations came to interview us, we showed them those papers.
It's just a way trying to show them we escape.
Okay.
Our father was trained in the United States and received the medal.
Well, it's just a status to help us to the next phase of our journey. Okay. If there was media, that might make a difference. So my mom escaped on her own after few days after we were gone. She has escaped. Though she said the reason she didn't go right was she was trying to find an arrangement for my brother when he gets out of that the new economy zone. Then she was planning with this other guy that helped us escape, Diana, who he is, like to make sure he get out too. Okay. So during that time, my mom escaped on a boat on her own because that other man that helped us arrange the same escape for her. She also escaped her boat with hundreds of people, to Indonesia, but different island. Got on a different island. And she went to, because she speak French, she speak English. She went to like a local officer, the office, and saying she's looking for these children. She's showing pictures, of us, individual pictures. Well, over here, Diane on this other end looking for our mom, So that's when Diane met this other general from Indonesia, because, the United Nations sent people down, the military people, you got this refugee, you got this refugee. Oh, this one, the family, the dad is a general. So, we're looking for a mom. They took a picture. That's why in the book, I post that picture. So my mom on the other end showing all pictures, like little pictures of us. But Indonesian general, he oversee all these islands or whatever, however that is. Then he interviewed my mom. Say, you hear who you hear with, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So my mom saying, I'm here, but I'm looking for 8 of my children. And these, here they are. And then the general saying, well, there's 8 children looking for their mom. Let me show you the picture. And my mom, when he showed my mom the picture, mom's like, wait, that's my kids. Those are my kids. Okay.
Wow.
These are my kids, you know? So he was like, okay, he's trying to tell her, okay, calm down. I know where they are, but they're in another island. So that's when they took us to her island. But prior to that, we were living on our own, and that was a struggle.
No, they let her use the walkie-talkie or something to speak to me to confirm that it is the right family.
This is before going to the other island.
Yeah, at night we have to keep a bunch of rock next to where we sleep, because the soldier at night, they will march to our room or any room with girls, and they point a gun and they will rape them. So there was a very kind police, I think chief of police. He told us to collect rock, and if the military soldier, may just throw the rock into his roof, and then make noise so he can turn on the light and wake up to help us.
It wasn't a room. It was this shelter.
No doors.
It was an open shelter from front end to back end. And it's like a hallway, and you just sleep there. We just have a bunch of rocks. And like the chief of police was saying, if you hear like men are coming, start throwing rocks on my metal roof. Because, you know, one of those metal roof, and when you throw enough, it will clang, it make loud clangs, and that will wake people up. We were in Indonesia for almost like 6 months before we actually come to United States.
Yeah.
Well, a paperwork finally go through, you know, because you had to file paperwork. We have a relative in the United States sponsoring us, you know, helping us to prepare paperwork. And well, actually, it's not only, and what was it, the Buddhist temple, the Buddhist temple, and I can't remember
Buddhist organization.
Yeah, Buddhist organization that trying to help, you know, the refugee to come. The reason you stop by Hong Kong, because no, we go to Jakarta first. We still stay there for a few months, and we still deal with like madness and rapists and, you know, harassment there from other Vietnamese rapists. Not only you dealing with the Malaysian, the Indonesian, now you deal with the Vietnamese rapists. I'm gonna skip that part. And then we live there for a few months, then the paperwork goes through. Then you prepare yourself to go to United States. However, the flight is not like, 2-hour flight. It's a 26 hours. You have to lay over. So they stay over in Hong Kong. Okay, we stay over in Hong Kong for a few days. And then from Hong Kong, we fly into Alaska. And from Alaska, we go to the United States. So it's not like a straight flight.
Right. And to mainland United States anyway. You guys didn't stay in Alaska for any significant period of time, did you?
No, we were just staying there. I honestly can't remember. My mom said we were only there maybe half a day, or it's like a layover, you know. And it was freezing, so
they gave us
but they were kind.
Extreme opposite temperature of South Vietnam.
Yes, we were so cold, and my asthma flare up, and my mom told me she didn't have much money, but she buy a jacket for me because I was freezing.
Yeah.
So we buy some fabric shoes, but we didn't have anything to wear.
We were wearing flip-flops still, okay, because we live in Indonesia. Now the good thing is when you reach to Alaska, now you know you're in America. Then all the good stuff coming out. You get blankets. They feed you. They welcome you. I mean, see, the American people don't know how good they have in this country. The people in America are good people. There are a lot of good people. And I keep saying that. I address that many times. the Americans are really good, you know.
Human
So
being.
yeah, who would take millions of refugee in? So that's where the goodness come in.
Once you landed in continental United States after you came in from Alaska, where did you land? Did you land in California?
No,
No,
Washington,
Washington.
D.C.
Washington, D.C. Okay, okay. So when you get off the plane in Washington, D.C., how do they sort all these people out? Like, they're just like, all right, go find a place in America.
No, we stay because the Buddhist Association, they sponsor us, but they didn't have any money. So we end up stay to about a week at my aunt's house. And then they
I
found
think it's more
us.
than a week. I think
Yeah.
it's a few weeks,
Is
almost
there
Yeah,
a
some
but
month.
kind of,
then
is there some kind of quick orientation they gave you about America?
no,
Or on the
no,
plane or getting off the plane where they're like, okay,
no,
like here's some really basic info about America.
no. But
Nothing.
we have a group of the lady husband. They are military in the Pentagon.
Uh-huh.
They are Jewish community.
A Jewish.
Jewish.
Okay.
Yeah, Jewish community, and they took us in, and they every day they will they took us to the doctor, to health department. They trying to find house for us.
We arrived in United States on November 1979.
Okay.
Okay. When we arrived, we were staying, temporary with our aunt until my godmother helped us and kept, because we were getting kicked out from my aunt's place because there's too many of us in a 2-bedroom apartments.
Okay.
Okay. So then we have to find different places, and we stay at my godmother's home.
Okay.
And she helped us by getting us involved with the Jewish community, the Catholic community, churches, to find us shelter, clothing, because we didn't have anything. We were wearing flip-flop. Think about in the wintertime,
Yeah.
So, but what Diane's saying is that, the people that take us here and there to get our shots and our health checked and everything were the Jewish community, people that volunteer.
Right.
Another word, Good Samaritan.
Yeah.
Okay. Good Samaritan, people that nonprofit organizations help us. So, like I say, America, there's a lot of good Americans in this country.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of people with big hearts that want to help people.
Yes.
Yeah, we like to find to see them again, and truly, we want them to see how we all grown up now, getting old and work.
And the Catholic Church, amazing. They will
Which
bring
Catholic church?
It wasn't Falls Church, it's near there. They gave us clothes when we have our first housing, like they gave us public housing. They would bring us bags and bags of clothes. It was just like amazing.
Yeah.
Even those used clothes, but it's a blessing because we didn't have money. We were on welfare. Yeah, we were on temporary welfare.
And they took us to go buy winter boots.
How did citizenship work at that time?
Well, we were still trying to get acclimated to the country, so we just have temporary green card.
Okay.
Okay, it's a temporary green card. It's not even a permanent green card. Everyone's like that because it's like a waiting period. You had to be, do all your paperwork, get all your shots, blah, 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 whatever the process is. Then once it's done, then you get your permanent green card. And then when you reach certain years, I think then you
5 years.
Yeah. And then you can go take your own test to become U.S. citizen. Unlucky me, my mom waited until I was 17 years old and 9 months. So when you're 17-year-old and 9 months, you can't become U.S. citizen with your mom. I mean, you can't naturally become U.S. citizen. You had to be 17 17 years old, but not the 9 months.
Oh
So
man, you just barely missed the cutoff.
yeah, I did. I missed the cutoff. And so I took my own citizen test. Yeah. Well, it wasn't.
How quickly did they put you into the school system in America when you got here? Both of you, because you're different ages. It's
Oh, we were pushed back a year.
okay.
I didn't go to school yet because I was too old for high school. And I was like, I didn't have enough English to go to college or sign in college. At that time, my mom told us that you're going to have to find a job to work because we didn't have money. We got help from the government, but that's all temporary.
Were you 21 by that point?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay, I guess maybe like 19 or 20 is a cutoff for being able to do the last year of high school.
Yeah, they said that I can take the GED test and stuff like that, but I took that before I had to get the cosmetology license.
Okay.
So I took the GED at the school. I forgot in Alexandria.
Like night school, Ben. It's like those night
school.
No.
The
The high school in Alexandria. You took the test for one day to get the approval to go to do the state board. For the private lesson for English, ESL, Nova, and then I have the private tutor for English.
For you, Michelle, because you were younger, so you could be put into the school system. You said they held you back 1 year?
Yeah, they held us back 1 year.
Right. You had 3 years without school in Vietnam from when the communists took over, right? Like
she did. She went to school. I didn't.
Well, when the communists took over the first, like 6 months to 9 months, we were not allowed to go to school. The reason we didn't go to school because we escaped, remember?
Right.
And we were put into jail.
The prison thing, yeah.
Prison. And then when we got out, so what do? We live with our grandma. And now my mom had to try and put us in a school.
Right.
And she didn't want to because all the school is being, taught by communists.
Right.
But we have to, and so we went to school. But every time we try and escape, because remember, we escaped 6 times.
Yeah.
So we missed a lot of school.
Yeah, no doubt. But did when you acquired under the communist regime count for when you came over to America? Were they like, okay?
No, they were just counting by your age.
Your age. Okay.
Right. It was by your age, and because you don't speak English, they try to push back a year to help you learn. Like you take ESL, you have more ESL classes. So ESL, and we have to attend ESL a lot. We don't get to attend with other kids. But, let me share with you. Sometimes I sit back and I think I was glad that they sent us to ESL classes because back then bullying was bad.
Mm-hmm.
We were bullied so badly by the American children. White, Black, Hispanic, you name it. We were being bullied. On the way back from school, they bully us, they beat us, they throw rock at us, they throw snowballs at us, okay? To the point that one day this lady, she always pick up her child. She gave me, my brother, and my little sister a ride home because she saw how bad we're being bullied. The same thing for my other siblings. They take the bus home. They were being bullied so bad they were being called Chin. They were called, we were like second-class citizen to them. Yeah. They beat my sister up on a bus. I mean, and they were harassing us at our home. They would use the slingshot with rock and would slingshot the window and break the window at the public housing that we're.
Did those ignorant kids think you guys are communists?
No, they would just think we are just Ching.
Okay.
That's what they call it.
But plus, because we live in the neighborhood that blue collar.
Okay, yeah, lower working class people.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. I don't want to give them excuses.
Yeah, but then the parent didn't teach them right, or they know that the Vietnamese eat dog or Vietnamese
No, they didn't even
communist or
consider us as
BDS or whatever.
Vietnamese. They just call all Asian Ching. So I'm going to explain to you why, because of the Vietnam War too. Okay.
Right.
So that's why.
Right. Like they
Remember, the veteran came
parents
back.
first.
The veteran came back. They were mistreated. The Vietnam veteran, and that's very shameful of those people, those young college students that did that, spit on the Vietnam veterans.
Yeah.
You know, throw rock at them or whatever. That's rude. That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
So I'm just pointing that out. I think that's the reason why we were being bullied, because we were being bullied very badly, to the point that, you know, our mom said, don't fight back, don't fight back. One day we decided we fought back.
Mm-hmm. And how did you fight back?
We physically fighting. We were physically fighting. We never forget this kid. His name is Mikey. His name is Mike. Okay. He's a white kid. And there was another African-American kid too, a Caucasian and an African-American. They would bully us every day, to the point that my brother and I, we saying, okay, that's it. We fought back. We fought back. We pretty much fought both of them. And they were harassing us. Yeah, we physically punched them. We physically, you know, but here's the thing. When you hit one and you push them down the ground, I mean, I don't want to teach the kids this, but you know, when you get one down, the other one will be scared. They run. That other one will. So that's what we did. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to teach my kids that. I don't want to teach any kids fighting. Fighting is not good, but the bullying, you can't get bullied every day. We were
especially back in that time, before you could even shame them or anything with social media.
Exactly.
No.
You gotta show physical dominance over.
And you don't even speak English that time. We didn't even understand a word of English, and we get bullied every day.
Did you experience that in the workplace, Diane? Because you were in a
yes. Yes. I worked 3 jobs, but the hairstylist job, the managers put me and clean the toilet every week. Every single week.
Yeah.
Everybody else like do light duty. For me, bathroom, restroom, trash. One day I remember the owner of the company, hair loft, now is a hair cuttery. His name is Dennis Ratner. So he came and he looked at the duty on the wall. He saw week 1 Diane restroom, week 2 Diane, all the restrooms. So he asked the manager, he said, Holly, her name is Holly, why Diane Lee is the one that only do toilet? So she said, oh, she liked it, she wanted. So the owner took me to the back and asked me, do you like to clean toilet? I said no, but the manager told me I have to. So I do have to clean toilet. From that day on, the owner told the manager, from now on, your duty is clean toilet.
Oh, the manager.
I never forget. Wow. I never forget Mr. Ratner. And he looked at me, he saw my work, and he said, I am not surprised someday you're going to own your own business. They make fun of, your name. They make fun of when you pronunciation. They make fun of, I mean, it's a joke, the ignorant joke. First, my name is Dip, and they call me Dai. They call me Deep and Chip. And finally, I call myself Lee. Later on, there are too many Vietnamese last name Lee, call themselves Lee 1, Lee 2. And I'm like, forget about all this Lee. So I call myself Diane.
Then also, you cannot, if you want your name to be in the Social Security and, everything you do, when you become U.S. citizen, they ask you want to change your name.
Okay.
So when you do the naturalization swearing in, then they ask, before that, there's paperwork you fill out. So you choose your American name, and that will be permanent American name.
Okay. Gotcha. So you did that when you were 17 then, technically?
Yeah, 17, 8.
And other than the bullying, did you feel like you adapted any better or worse than other Vietnamese people in similar situations?
Well, I don't know anything about other Vietnamese people because we were just too busy living our life. We were just too poor to be worried about other people, honestly. We have to work hard. We have to work hard for ourselves first. There's the saying, you got to take good care of yourself before you can take care of others. Now, there are always good people around you. Not all Americans are bad. There's a lot more good Americans than the one that's bullying. So you get helps from others. You know, when I go to school, I have this teacher. She's awesome and she's very patient, and she will give me extra food. She will give my brother extra food, like candies on the side for doing a good job. Learn the English word because we were shy. We don't know what to do. So there's a lot of good people in the world. Right. So the little bad people, the group of bad people, probably maybe 5% when there's like 95% of good people.
Food wasn't important, but
right.
I miss my dad, my grandma, all that.
I came here when I was very young, so I don't miss the living, the way that we were being mistreated back after the war. So I was just too focused on having fun here, going to school, meeting new friends, the foods. There's still Vietnamese food everywhere.
What were some key moments for both of you before your dad came back? Diane, you got a job, and I think, Michelle, you would have graduated high school before he got back.
Right? I graduated from high school. I got married.
You got married before he got back.
Yeah, a year before.
Yeah, I bought 3 businesses.
You bought 3 businesses before he got back?
She has 2 businesses.
I have, no, totally. I bought 3 beauty salons. And then finally I sold them all and I went to work for somebody. But before my dad came, I already had my own business. Yeah.
Well, he must have been very proud of you for succeeding that so quickly in America. You had your own business before your dad even got back in 1992?
Yeah, I got my first business in 1985.
Okay, wow.
And then 1986, I got another business.
It's quite impressive that you were able to accomplish that so quickly.
We saved money. We didn't eat fancy. We didn't spend money for clothes. We fix old clothes at home and just save up, I mean, that's why I said America is the best place for you to be.
Yeah.
I love this country. I mean, this is my place.
This is my home.
Right.
Yeah.
I would not go back to Vietnam. I love the people. I feel bad for the people that's still stuck there. I feel bad for the people that doesn't understand the meaning of communism. I feel that they're being brainwashed by these communist government right now.
I'm trying to be rude, but my husband just got home. So I have to fix dinner for him.
I understand that. Well, thank you very much for talking to me about this. We might have to continue and talk a little bit about the time where you got to spend with your dad when you guys got reunited. I'm curious to hear what you have to say about the time between 1992 to 2015 or so, and near the end of his life. I'd be curious to see what your interaction was like, having lost him for so many years and then finally being reunited well into your adult life. I mean, that's got to be an interesting story in itself. For now, I guess we'll stop it here. Thanks again for talking to me.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
no
Ben.
problem.
Bye-bye.